Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jerry, and this is Story Centric Games, the show that we talk about incredible narratives in computer games that draw you deeper and deeper, make you more immersed, and make you fall in love with games, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about for me. I hope it's the same for you. Now, today we're going to talk about something really special, in my opinion, of course. I want to talk about Prey, the incredible game that I've discovered some time ago that truly reminds me of the very beginnings of computer games as I know them. Prey has the most Half-Life vibes, OG Half-Life vibes that I have ever felt. The beginning, the whole idea of a scientist stranded somewhere. So let's explore the setting of Prey. I find it fascinating, especially when viewed through the lens of the current global political situation. Now, first of all, Prey sets the world in alternative history where JF Kennedy survived the assassination attempt in 1963. This pivotal event allowed for rapid development of technology and redefined the Cold War, shifting it from a competition to collaboration. Now just think about that for a second. But in terms of narrative, in this timeline, the Soviets encounter a mysterious alien species called the Typhoon during their space explorations. Now this discovery prompts the superpowers to join forces in studying these aliens. They create a joint program called Kletka that becomes a turning point on the political stage. And that's incredibly fascinating to dive into, this particular plotline, especially given its parallels to the current events. Common enemy forges a great alliance. Without giving too much away, the key takeaway from this alternative timeline is the development of neuromods, human enhancements derived from the alien species. What really stands out in Prey for me is the idea that the environment is dangerous. And I mean really dangerous. We've seen games that play with the idea of environmental dangers, but usually that focuses on some kind of gas leaks, explosions, stuff like that. Whereas here, we have aliens that are changing into objects, morphing into them. And that's just so simple, yet so incredible, because in essence, when you begin to discover rooms, like trying to get to another place from section to section, and you're discovering some office, everything can be a potential threat. Of course, it's very important to add that the objects that might be potentially dangerous for you are also quite important to gather as resources to be able to combine into some equipment, some buffs, some stuff. And it's really, it happened on several occasions when you were actually trying to get a piece of wire, which would be cool to be able to produce some bullets for your shotgun, for example, and like out of nowhere and just changes into an alien. And you're thrown into the situation because they're very fast and they do those moves that are like really hard to predict. So I really enjoyed that. And well, speaking of guns and stuff like that, I have to say that Prey is very original in that sense, because the arsenal of weapons is unlike any other. Most of these the guns are, shotgun, pistol, stuff like that. But the really cool things are the scientific guns, right? You have the glue cannon that shoots some kind of thing that changes aliens and anything that attaches to into a solid form, which in essence gives you the possibility of creating your own routes. If you can't get to a level because there's, like, for example, the stairs that are destroyed, you might as well use the glue cannon to create some kind of a provisional stairs or a ladder. I know it sounds silly, but well, that's the truth. Then there's like those strange grenades that kind of change matter to substances into small pieces. It's really, really incredible to discover like new ways to approach your enemies with all those really cool gadgets, because then you can set traps, you can really prepare. The aspect of game here, I mean of action game, is really, really sublime. You can have a lot of fun and you can approach this game in very different ways. But in terms of narrative, I was really, really attached from the very beginning and immersed from the story of Morgan and his brother and the whole scientific crew. They were not anonymous. These were people involved in an incredible project, and they were all surprised of what happened actually just a second ago. Like you constantly get the feeling that something has just happened and you were almost there. The game excels in creating a rich and atmospheric world. The artistic blend of Art Deco and socialist realism is absolutely brilliant. From posters and fonts to interior design, everything feels both striking and authentic. It's all there for those willing to pause and take it in. Sometimes the details are subtle, like in offices. Other times they're majestic, especially in vast open areas. The world building is so thick and immersive, I often forgot I was fighting for survival. That is until mimics lurking everywhere reminded me of how dangerous the world around me truly was. It was obvious that the scientific setting of the game will immediately draw comparisons to the legendary Half-Life franchise. In spite of that, and in my own opinion, Arcane had the guts to pull this off and was successful in establishing something original. What is even more impressive, that the tension does not go away, and I never felt comfortable enough with the amount of health items and ammunition in my inventory. It's a horror game. If you want more stuff, be sure to explore, but bear in mind that it comes with the penalty of encountering even more typhoon. Oftentimes, pass by and objects will fall on the ground. Was it an accident or was it an alien? Almost no ruin ever feels completely safe, and that's awesome. There are always a few ways to approach your destination, and what's most enticing for me is that if you carefully study emails, memos, you can unlock an abundance of side stories and possibilities. A hack here, an open door there, some ammunition, some additional neuromods. However, sometimes the reward is outweighed by the danger, and only careful strategic planning and clever use of the environment will allow you to tackle the largest threats. I really, really loved Prey, and I can truly recommend this as a narrative feast. Not only because of the story of two brothers and their scientific efforts, but of the incredible political and global setting of superpowers encountering a third threat. That's something to think about, especially in the current political situation and how the world could be set up differently from what we know. Thanks. I'm Jerry, and this was Story Central Games. Hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned for more. And if you really like that, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.
Vital signs critical.